I am so excited to finally be out on trail. Quarantine has been horrendous. So it's gonna actually get into the 40s overnight, and then tomorrow afternoon, it could potentially get up to 90. So how about that swing in temperature? This is why you don't buy your smart water bottles individually. See that price down there? And that price down there, $2.29. Those bottles were ridiculously expensive, and I think I paid like $8 for 3 of them. Oh, is that Mark? Is that him? Oh, wait, there he is. There he is, right there. Marky Mark. That was the backpack he was using. He's using this. This is the Granite Gear Crown 60. And then I got mine sitting there. We're hiking 8 miles today, I think. And then we'll make camp. And I think we got 15 tomorrow. The horse flies are already out, so that's fun. That is where we parked the other car. 316 miles away. See that? Then it looks like 316. How far do you think we are?
We're 2 miles in.
We are 2 miles in?
2.2, yeah.
2.2. Found a little pond. You can see the mosquitoes on the water though. We are 3.5 miles in, and I'm putting on some Leuco tape on my feet because I didn't tie my shoes enough, and they're starting to get hot spots at only 3.5 miles in, which is the soonest that's ever happened. It's because I have not hiked in months. I bet you that's part of it. Yep, because it's freaking me out, wondering why my feet had hot spots after 3 miles. I'm sure that's because I haven't hiked in a while. Got my dainty princess feet. Treating it now before it turns into a blister. How do you like that backpack?
I love it. It's literally a game changer. Oh my gosh. I can tell you, as an Eagle Scout, I don't possess even a tenth of the field experience that Danny Becker has. Your expertise is
What did you just tell me a minute ago?
that you're the most experienced
No,
trail
you're
guy.
such a liar. What did you tell me about homemade wanderlust?
Oh, yeah, no, I was lost. You know, I was lost. I didn't know what to do, what to pack. I was scared, if I'm honest with you, but I just watched a couple of her videos. Now I know what to do. I'm gonna stay dry. I'm gonna stay fed. I'm gonna stay hydrated. And most of all, I'm gonna be able to enjoy this wanderlust.
Okay, who can tell me which camera I brought on this trip? Did I bring my big, awesome camera, or am I shooting on my iPhone? Don't cheat and wait till the end of the video to find out. You gotta put it in the comments right now. Tell me what you think I brought. Oh, and I bet you're wondering if I went ultralight or not, right? You guys watched my gear list. Did you watch my gear list? If you didn't, I'll put it right up here. Okay, we are probably 4.5 miles in, and this is apparently the last water source before we get to our campsite. It looks like it's just like a water spigot in a parking lot or something. So it's like 1/3 of a mile. That kind of stinks, but we're gonna head down this trail right here where Mark is at and go get some water fill up, and then we'll at least have water for the night in the morning so that we can cook and kind of get what we need to do done. Oh, that's well water for sure. Brought raisins for the first time on a backpacking trip. It's actually a little more refreshing. What's the word I'm looking for? Not refreshing, but a little more.
It's like light,
Delightful?
like a light food, right? You're trying to say?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I have no idea what I'm trying to say, but
Like when you used to get raisins when you trick or treat, it would be like the biggest disappointment ever, right? And now, like you're backpacking,
that's so true.
and it feels so natural.
Yeah, this is like the The old ladies that give you pennies when you knock on their door.
Yeah. I want to have a Snickers bar, but I feel guilty. You're sitting over here, Mr. Natural, organic, vegan.
But now it's just like, man, these are good. This is a bench I would not want to sit on right now. Look at that. Oh man, that's got to be the size of my pinky at least. I'm not going to get any closer. Holy cow. I'm making sure there's no spiders on here. Shots are 2. Using my Kojin stove. Alcohol, a little bit of alcohol. Some changes that I made to the trip. One is I brought my Garmin InReach Mini, and you're wondering why I'm talking about that as I'm cooking food. It's because, well, I'll tell you why I brought this instead. Because my bivy stick that I was going to bring was a prototype, and for some reason it wasn't holding a charge, so they're sending me another one. But this little cool carabiner was sent to me by a company called Outdoor Element. And it's like a survival carabiner. It only weighs 1.5 ounces. It's got a little way to fart. It's got a little way to start a fire. It's got a little pointer thing you can break windows with or cut your seatbelt. You pull this off, cut a seatbelt, and some other pretty cool stuff on there. And it holds 150 pounds, which I thought was really cool. So I brought it because I didn't feel like going to the store and buying a lighter. So we're going to light the stove with it. Pretty cool. I probably don't even need the windscreen, but I'm learning how to use an alcohol stove. I'm not an expert at it whatsoever. So for all you alcohol stove experts, you guys can point out everything I'm doing wrong and give me some tips. I can already see a mistake. I didn't put enough alcohol in there. I don't think. It's just barely going, and I'm close enough to a boil, I think, to at least cook the food. And tonight's dinner is going to be Peak Refuel beef stroganoff. This only takes 3/4 of 1 cup, and it's 800 calories for the whole pack. So I love the Mountain House version of beef stroganoff, so we'll see how this one tastes. Ooh, this one's got mushrooms in it. Check it out. This is pretty good beef stroganoff. It's a little salty, but it is as good, I would say, as the Mountain House, at least. So one reason that I like to camp with Mark is because he's off. You probably can't see him, but he's off in the woods over there. He's looking for firewood. He loves looking for firewood, and he gets obsessed with the fire and making sure there's enough firewood, all that stuff. So when he's here, I never have to worry about a fire. Well, while Mark is looking for firewood, why don't I show you camp a little bit. I'm camping here. I brought the tent that I have not used yet. I've set it up several times. I haven't slept in it yet. This is the Big Agnes Scout 2 Carbon. Mark is borrowing my Marmot Super Alloy 2-person tent, and the ground in here is like cement, so he didn't stake it out. It's a semi-freestanding tent, so I think he'll be okay. But, oh, Mark!
Could you please lift a finger and contribute? I'm not your servant.
Oh, look at that. You carried that all the way here.
Oh no, do I gotta answer my pants?
Somebody obviously was here before we got here because the fire is still smoldering. Do you think we can get it going without having to use a lighter? Or any type of fire starter? I think we should try. Oh, look at that. Good morning. Yes, this is my morning voice. I am eating this nutrient cereal, maple almond. It's like just a dry cereal that you could put in any liquid apparently, and you can add toppings like raisins, which I have with me today, coincidentally. So Mark woke me up at 5:15 a.m. because he could hear the birds. So I'm a little exhausted, but we are packed up and ready to go. So we're gonna put the fire out here, make sure we have a completely dead fire. Tents are all packed up. Mark's getting his backpack on, and then we are hiking 16 miles, I think, today to the next shelter, which is the last shelter in the whole state park that we're in. So we're gonna skip 2 shelters, I think, 3 and 4. Yeah, skip shelter 3, skip shelter 4, and then we'll end up at shelter 5 tonight. I'm hoping that the water sources all don't look like this. I mean, that's not the end of the world if we got to deal with it, but I just don't want to be drinking that stuff. If I don't have to, I don't want to drink that stuff. Nicely done.
Thank you. Can I just take it one step at a time?
Yep.
Live in the moment?
Nothing like primitive hiking. It's a campground. And there's water right here. So, yeah, we're good. Perfect. Holy cow. Just came around this corner and there was a turkey. Must have been just, I don't know what it was doing. It was sleeping, laying right here, and saw me, I saw it, and we both just froze, and then it freaked out. It could barely get through these branches here. Scared the bejesus out of me. And then there was a baby turkey right here. Wow. That's the first time that's happened.
I'm having the time of my life. Thank you for bringing me.
We just had a nice little lunch break, and looking at the map here, we're not doing too bad. This is where we parked, right down here, and we're about halfway. That little marks where we are. And then we found out that there's some water here at this campground, so we won't have to filter, we don't think. And then that's where we're staying tonight. So we got about another 7 or 8 miles to go, and then the next day we will go back to our car, which is right there. Okay, so earlier when my feet started to get hot spots, I put some tape on them, and my left foot is completely fine. The tape solved the problem. My right foot started to hurt today, and I just kind of ignored it because I thought, well, I've already taped it and there's not much else I can do. And then it really started to hurt, so I took off my shoe and sock, and come to find out the tape moved off of where the blister was. So I know why that is, because my Leuco tape was unwrapped from a roll and then wrapped around a small little pill bottle that I keep some ibuprofen in, and I'm sure that that's what caused the sticky glue, whatever it is, to come off the tape a little bit, which made it not as adhesive. So that being said, I developed a pretty nasty blister underneath my ball of my toe, which is really strange, and I think it's probably just because I haven't hiked in a while. Anyway, we're stopped, popped it, retaped it. Still hurts pretty bad. So we're 5 miles from camp, and then got an 8-mile hike tomorrow. So pretty nice camping spot we got here. There's the privy way back there, the shelter. I got my tent set up, and that was not an easy last stretch of today's hike. If you guys are new to my channel, or even if you've been watching a long time and you think that I'm like some thru hiker or I hike tons of miles, I'm an average dude, okay? I'm like the dad that's got kids that likes to go camping on the weekends, and I just happen to know a lot about gear. That was a tough hike. 16 miles or so today. My foot feels like hamburger meat. It's just super sore. I'm hoping that I can hike the final 8 tomorrow. But Mark's eating, and I think we're gonna get a fire going, and then I'm probably gonna go to bed early. But man, look at this place. Mark is gonna head out 0.2 miles ahead. Apparently there's a water pump, and see if he can get some water. He's almost out. That is literally the only water source left on this trip. Okay, so I decided to hike, and we got 8 miles. My foot's actually feeling a lot better after sleeping on it. Took some ibuprofen after I ate a ton, because you want to take ibuprofen on a full stomach. feels a lot better. So here we go. It's hot. It's hot. This is use number 2,842 for a buff. Getting to the trailhead and seeing your car is always one of the best moments of any backpacking trip, especially on a day like today. It's so brutally hot out. That's hot. Don't do that. Yes! All right, now it's time to go get something to eat. Usually a Coke from McDonald's is one of my favorite things to eat because we don't have Waffle House up here. Oh, and if you're wondering, I brought my chair and I used my phone to film this. So if you watched my loadout video on this trip, you will know exactly why I'm talking about that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.